welcome to Abnormal Presents Sassy Saristas, a tête-à-tête or a guftagoo with some phenomenal women with chutzpah, pizzazz, and attitude. Women who dare to dream, women who dare to defy the odds, women who dare to live life on their own terms, women who dare to embrace and love themselves, strong women who can speak their mind and refuse to fit in, ordinary women leading extraordinary lives, women who dare to be a tad abnormal in a normal world. My guest today is all of that and much, much more. She's a Padma Shri, a National Award winner, six times Filmfare Award winner, a lady superstar who is known for pioneering a change in the portrayal of women in Indian cinema with her roles in female led films. I'm extremely privileged and honored to have Vidya Balan, my favorite actress, as my Sassy Sarista today. So thank you, Vidya, so much for accepting my invite for being on this show. Uh, Thank you on behalf of legions of women who, thanks to you, have dared to dream, dare to defy odds, dare to challenge the status quo, And thanks for putting out that body of work out there, which, has kind of pioneered the change of portrayal of women in Indian cinema. And I'm going to shamelessly borrow your dialogue and say thank you for providing us entertainment, entertainment, and entertainment.
Thank you so much for that lovely welcome, Kamala.
It's not every day I sit
Really?
casually with a superstar and chat. So I'm having a major fangirl crush. So thank you very much. So Vidya, if I were to start, I think all of us know Vidya today, as you are. I want to know the Vidya growing up. How was Vidya in school? How was Vidya in college? How was she at home with her family? What was Vidya like?
I'm actually a homebody. If you asked me to stay home and not get out at all, I'd be the happiest. I've been like that since childhood. My mom would literally have to push me out of the house. And my sister is the absolute opposite. She's 4 years older, and she was a badmash. She'd go out of the house and my mom would have to keep calling out to her, and it would take her 2 hours to come back because she wanted to play. So we're absolute opposites in that sense. But it was a very, I was born and brought up in Chembur, Mumbai. It was a very guarded, protected, safe childhood. And I believe it was a happy one. I was like, most children are. I was oblivious to, the fact that I was and everyone would tell me I was a fat child, but at home that didn't really bother me, But as I started, I think getting into my teenage years, I realized what that really meant. How much of a problem people have when you are fat. And I consciously use the word fat because I don't think fat, I think fat should be rid of its negative connotations.
Absolutely.
A lot of people tell me, oh, why do you call yourself fat? And I'm like, I'm absolutely okay. Some people are thin, some people are fat, but it's this negative connotation, this undesirable connotation that is what makes it, a taboo to say, to use the word fat. So I used to love to eat, and the reason I started with saying I didn't get out of home, I was happy staying at home. I was happy watching TV. I didn't want to read really. If my mother ever asked me to read a book, I would read it aloud, so it would annoy her, and then she'd say, okay, there's no need of reading. But it was like a safe haven. Today, when I look around, like a lot of kids are being, I don't really have that environment where neighbors also form your, sort of an extended family.
Yeah.
We would be here, there, and everywhere. We would be out of our houses, and it was absolutely fine. Today parents are so paranoid.
Yeah.
I guess because there's that much more awareness of the ills that assail the world. But, we were carefree. we would go to each other's houses. I lived in Chembur on 11th Road, and it was like I could be anywhere on that street, and my mom wouldn't be worried.
Yeah.
So I guess there were different times, more secure times.
Yeah. So coming from such a suburb of Mumbai, a very simple South Indian family, films obviously was not the normal choice, right? Typical South Indian families would be chartered accountant, doctor, engineer.
Yeah.
So how did your family react to your choice of career? What were your dreams and aspirations? What drew you to films?
I think I was, I can't remember what age I was. If it was 1987, I was 8 years old. And I watched Ek Do Teen. And like the rest of the nation, I fell in love with Madhuri Dixit.
Yes.
And I wanted to be junior Madhuri Dixit. That was what really set this, I think it almost like set me on fire. I just wanted to do this. Of course, every girl at that time wanted to be Madhuri Dixit, so my parents didn't take me seriously. They were like, okay. They thought it was a passing fancy. But later, I remember sitting and watching performances of various, Julie Lakshmi in one particular film that I watched in those days. I thought she was so effective. There was Geeta who did Malayalam films. There was Revati. Because in those days, we used to watch a lot of non-Hindi cinema also. There wasn't a culture of films at home, firstly. My mother would, have cable at home only for 3 months in the year during our summer vacation, so that there were no distractions.
Yeah.
It was like there was too much entertainment available, otherwise, you know what I mean? So summer vacations we were allowed to watch. So I would be soaking all of this in, Mohanlal and Suhasini, then of course Shabana Azmi and Rekha and Sridevi and Hema Malini. So I was like fully, I knew from within that this is what I wanted to do. And slowly, I started expressing it to my parents, and my parents still didn't take me seriously. I remember there was one time, Kamala, my mother told my father, she's saying she wants to be an actor, and you're not saying anything to her, because she would keep telling me, no, it's not for us and all that, but my father would keep quiet. So he'd tell her we'll cross the bridge when we come to it, because even he didn't think that this was a serious dream. So, there was, in that sense, I think there was a lot of trepidation, because you're just worried, for your child. It's a world you're unfamiliar with. But I think around soon after I finished my 10th standard exams, a friend of mine, Praveen, actually he was my sister's friend, and he used to treat me like a child, and I told him I want to be an actor and all that. So he said, I just read about this workshop at Prithvi Theatre for aspiring actors, and it's 9 to 15 or something is the age group. So my sister and he then took me there to Prithvi Theatre, and I did the 2-month workshop. And then there was just no doubt in my mind that this is what I want to do. So there was, and then I think my mother was still very scared. Even when I got my first television offer, when I auditioned and then I got through, she would come with me for the workshops. Then that serial didn't see the light of day. Okay. So they were very happy. They were actually happy. They thought, ki chalo, she's fulfilled her desire, and at the same time, maybe, this will just wear off. But it didn't. And I remember even when I went for the audition, Kamala, it was my mother and sister who came with me to Film City in Goregaon. We had never traveled that far, from Chembur. And all day we had to sit. There were so many, almost 150 aspiring actors. We didn't even know if I'd get a chance that day. But thankfully, I got to audition. And anyway, that didn't see the light of day. But slowly then we got called for, all of us actors got called for Hum Panch. Not for Hum Panch, for a daily soap Ekta was making.
Okay.
I went and auditioned there. And she thought I was perfect for one of the characters in Hum Panch that she wanted to Slowly, my parents started gaining confidence. My sister has always been a rock for me. She's always, sometimes I feel like she's stricter than my parents, huh? But I guess that is the kind of, what I'm talking about. Those are the kind of families we come from,
Absolutely. So true. So true. So, you've touched upon so many things quite naturally, and I didn't know whether I should even broach those subjects with you. Like, things like body shaming and those things are so obvious and common in the industry you're in. But, hats off to you, Vidya, whether it is by design or by accident. You have chosen roles which require so much sass, so much courage, so much balls, dare I say.
Thank you.
Whether you go in search of these roles or when there are these gutsy roles, they say, Vidya ko lena chahiye. How does it come to you?
I think it's a little bit of both. I've never really had to seek work, thankfully. I consider myself very privileged in that sense, because when you get a very the kind of break that I did, it really sets the stage ahead and makes things easier. Getting the first break was tough, but I think it was well worth it, And I started with Vinod Chopra films. They have a certain, their films have a certain quality. They're associated with certain, I don't know how to say, there is a certain, whether the films work or don't work, there is always a certain aesthetic that you associate them with. So I think it was, again, I did my first 3 films with Vinod Chopra films, which was a fantastic start for me. And, I was being heaped with praise and appreciation. And I thought, oh my God, how can this get any better? Because all I wanted to do was be an actor. Yeah. And now it felt like the world was my oyster. Everyone I wanted to work with was offering me a film, whether it was Mani Ratnam, Rajkumar Santoshi, the Raju Hirani. So I was like, I'm just set. And then about 2 years later, the honeymoon period wore off. And that's when, for the first time, I began to receive criticism. Thankfully, not for my work, but for my choice of clothes and for my body and all of that. And it was tough. There was, especially because there was no one who told me that, you shouldn't take this too seriously. My parents, my sister, and my brother-in-law, I'd say, they were the rocks for me. I would constantly talk to them. By this time, a lot of my close friends had gotten married, moved out of the country. 2 of my closest friends, 3 of them. So I was like feeling a little, my family was the only, these 4 people were the only people I could really talk to on a daily basis. So when I was going through this period between 2006, 7, or rather 7, 8, I think there was some very definitive, there was a definitive clarity that emerged from this period of turmoil. At one point, I felt like, there was no national issue bigger than my dressing. But very important things happened at this time. Sabyasachi Mukherjee was someone I, came into contact with. And I remember very casually, he told me, but you look so gorgeous in a sari. Why don't you wear saris all the time? And I said, I love wearing saris, but people say saris make you look older. He said, forget it. Saris are sexy. And that, so I feel like I pray a lot. And I feel like whether you call that God or the source or angels, talk to you through people.
Yes.
And I felt like, oh my God, that helped me clarify something. When he said, and people had stopped looking at the sari as sexy.
Yes.
But that one thing that he said changed it for me, in terms of dressing. And of course, I was working at losing the weight and all that. I remember my brother-in-law telling me, listen, did you come here to be a clothes horse or did you come here to be an actor? And I said, an actor. So he said, there'll be people who can dress you and just forget about it. Personally, you wear whatever you want to wear. I said, I'm only going to do what appeals to me. But I think I now decided that if something does not speak to me, if a character or a role or even a story does not call out to me, it doesn't matter how great the banner or how great the scale of the film, or however big the actor opposite me or the director, I'm not going to do it. So I think it was that clarity helped me make some choices, and then those choices gave people confidence that I could do, that I'm open to doing all kinds of roles. I'm not limiting myself to an image of the girl next door, which I had in the first 2 years. So, and then I think you put this out into the universe, and the universe responds. Gives you much more than. So I think one thing led to the other. These films began to do really well commercially. And then, even more people started writing roles for me and wanting to make films with me. So, yeah, it's a little bit of both.
So actually,
Kamala, you realize that I can keep talking, so please butt in whenever you want to.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure. I just wanted for this to go on forever. So thank you actually for bringing back the oomph, the sexuality, the sensuality, and glamour back to a sari, because like you rightly said, it's gotten lost. And so growing up, was sari not a dress you considered growing up?
I remember, Kamala, as a child, I actually have pictures where I've draped my mother's sari and pictures have been taken. I was very fascinated by the sari. Most women around me, whether it was my mother, my terimas, my mommies, they all wore saris.
Yeah.
And no makeup. At the most, for a wedding, they wear some lipstick. On a regular basis, it was just washed hair, a nice cotton sari, potte,
Yes.
lipstick, kajal, and at the most sindoor. That's it. And I found them beautiful in that simplicity. I think that's what, when you ask me, if there is a prototype for beauty, for me, I'll always associate it with freshly washed hair, left open, and the potte, poo,
Yeah.
kajal, and that's it. And either the your tode,
Yeah.
tode, or a jimki, or
Yes.
something. So for me, and a woman in a nice cotton sari, I think is so beautiful. So that's where my idea of beauty comes from. So I guess even then, when I was growing up and watching all these actresses that I mentioned, I think I missed mentioning Jaya Bachchan. All these women wore saris so beautifully.
Yes.
And each had a distinct style. Their personalities came through, despite the fact that they were all wearing saris. So I thought I began to realize that the sari was the most versatile garment. You can wear it to office, you can wear it to a funeral, you can wear it on a date, you can just wear it casually if you're, I don't know, to the temple, or for a party, for anything. So I think it's really how you wear it. It's, and I love the traditional saris, but I realize the saris are one garment that embraces you. You don't have to fit into the sari. The sari embraces your form. I think that is so beautiful. It doesn't matter your shape, your height, the color of your skin. Anyone looks good in sari. So I think around 2008, I started wearing saris to appearances. And now I've been exposed to a wide variety of saris from across the country, because people know that I like the sari.
Yeah.
They gift me saris, and I'm most excited to wear saris from across the country. There's such a wide variety. There's how every every state, for example, interprets a weave so differently. We have the jacquard and the jamdani, but the way it happens in Banaras and Kanchipuram, and then Kota, and Pochampalli, for example. It's so varied. It's fascinating. And actually, my knowledge of saris began to. I used to wear all kinds of saris from 2008, but around 2015, I think 14 or 15, I came in touch with Gaurang Shah.
Yes.
And he is someone who's nurtured this interest in me. So I think there's so much that, like you said, I wish the youth would really. I think I wish everyone wore the sari and realized that it's a very easy garment to actually wear. That it does not age you, and you don't have to necessarily wear one kind of sari. Today, all kinds of, the way, I think the designs are really very contemporary today. And also, you can have fun with your blouse, with your accessories. So it can be so much fun. At least once a week to work, I think everyone should wear a sari.
I so agree with you. So we admire.
By the way, I love yours.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Gaurang and Mamta.
I was just going to say Kalamkari and Tassar, right?
Yes, correct. Great.
So
what is your favorite weave from your various collections that you might have?
So I love, I think I love the Jamdani weave because I wear a lot of cotton. It happens to be the Dhakai, also your Coimbatore cotton, Chettinad, Bengal cotton. So, and I love the Kanjivaram. I think that I associate with childhood beauty, like I said. For example, at those weddings, you'd see women bring out their finery, and they'd be simple saris. Today there's so much more happening in a sari, but simple. The body would be one color, the border would be another color, but stunning. So I have lots of favorites. I even enjoy the Banarsi. Loads.
So that's from right in India. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I remember when I was speaking to Gaurang, he was telling me she used to be very conscious of wearing big borders. She was very conscious of wearing organza, and I told her, it will flatter you, and she enjoyed it. And he considers you his favorite muse in saris. I mean, I interviewed him and I asked him, it's Vidya miles ahead, and I said yes, absolutely.
No, you have a certain perception, right? That I'm of average height, so you feel like the big borders will probably make you look shorter in pictures, or not exactly short, but it's not proportionate.
Yeah.
But then he broke all those myths for me, and organza and his organza Kanjivaram, my God, and his Kanjivarams. I still have one burnt orange with a brown border.
Yes, I've seen that.
I could eat that sari. It is so gorgeous. When I go to a store, I tell him, this also, this also, this also, this also. And then I realize there's not so many places for me to go to where I can wear.
Yeah.
But, he's just, and his knowledge and what he's doing for the weavers, for Indian textiles. He calls himself a textile designer, and rightly so, I think. So, hats off to him. He's so passionate. You call him in the middle of the night, you call him early in the morning. At 7 o'clock, he'll respond to a message. Which is surprising for someone who wakes up at 8:30.
I've also seen a picture of you, I think, visiting the loom with him, right? In Kanchipuram.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
No, not Kanchipuram. It was in Andhra.
Pondu.
Yes. Yeah. So it was lovely. So I told him I'm interested in just going to. I want to see how it's done. How the weaving is actually done, the warp and the weft, and how they create these designs, how they sit for hours, and I spent the entire day there. We went to 2 villages. And it was just, what an experience. They just sit there relentlessly relentlessly from morning to noon, take a small lunch break, and then they're back there. And they're sitting until sundown. And one of those saris that I saw under production, they said would take 6 months. So that's when you realize that, the prices they charge are justified.
Yeah.
A lot of people tell me that, but also these saris are so expensive, you can only wear them once in a while. But I think, it's the amount of work, the hard work, the intricate work, the focus that's required that just justifies everything.
So true. So true. Vidya, we admire you in a sari, and like I said, you are like an ambassador for saris now. Okay, so who do you admire in saris? Who do you look up to when you think of a sari? Who comes to mind besides you?
Wow, of course, Rekha ji.
Yes,
I think she and her Kanjivarams are just gorgeous. There are a lot of people from outside films also. These days, I don't see too many actors wearing saris, especially our homegrown,
yeah.
The handloom saris. I don't. There are a lot of, they do chiffons, but that's I think, or Kanjivarams now have begun to do, people have begun to do Kanjivarams a little bit, but not that much. So I think amongst actresses, I would say it's Rekha ji, and then there are people from various professions. As a matter of fact, there's Meera Sagar.
Yes.
Who does the Maheshwaris and the Chanderis. I think whatever she wears, and she wears the most exquisite saris, and she looks so lovely. There are lots of women like her who, obviously I'm not taking names because they're not like public figures. There are lots of women like that who you look at and say, wow. When I travel across the country, the way different, the saris draped in different states, it's so interesting. And those women look so, I don't know what the word is, so distinctive, so sexy, so elegant. It's something else. Lots of women. I like anyone in a sari, by the way. I'm very partial and biased like that.
You have also embraced this new form of entertainment, the Amazon video, and we know your new movie is going to come out in Amazon video format. So in this absolutely unexpected time that the entertainment industry is going through, what do you see as the new normal? Because I've read news that you started working back, so in the new environment. So how is working in the new environment? What do you see as the future, the imminent future of the entertainment industry in the new normal?
So the television industry is slowly crawling back to shoot. Of course, I don't think shoots are happening in Bombay, but they're going, traveling into the interiors of Maharashtra or putting up sets there, quarantining themselves for 14 days and then starting work. So here, I think a few ad film shoots have happened. I did a photo shoot, and it gave me a sense of how things are going to be. There were, of course, only 7 people on set. There were some other people, unit hands outside, but on set, because it was an AC environment, we kept the number of people to a minimum. It was so peaceful. We still got work done. So it's not an impossibility. And I think we'll all have to, start working at some point. But we'll have to be very cautious, very careful. And I saw that on set that day. And it's not easy, especially, as an actor, because my face is seen, I'm not wearing the mask and gloves. But everyone else was in full PPE. And it can get very suffocating. So it's not going to be easy. So I don't know about film shoots. I think that will still take a while. I was in the middle of shooting for a film called Sherni when the lockdown was announced. So we'll hopefully resume after the rains. But it is going to be a slightly different atmosphere. But I don't think, we all adapt, I think. Yeah. So that's going to be the new normal. It'll probably take people a few days to get a hang of it, but it can happen. And as far as, I think people will take time to go into theaters. So thank God for your OTT platforms. So we made Shakuntala for the theater. But I'm glad we have the opportunity to release it on Amazon Prime Video. It's releasing on the 31st of July. So please watch it. Thank you. But, I think it's a good option because a lot of people are going to sit at home and watch films until they go to the theaters. But we'll continue to make films for the theaters forever. It's just a time. I think everyone's trying to do the best they can in the given circumstances.
So for actresses and even for actors, actually makeup, etc. will be an issue, no? With this new, how do they?
Yeah, but so I was speaking to a co-actor of mine and he said, you should start doing your own makeup. And I'm not, I've never taken any interest in makeup because I've had one makeup artist throughout my career. His name is Shreyas. So, I've not even had to, I only wear kajal and lipstick on my own. I've always taken it for granted that he'll be there. So, he was there that day at shoot. So he took all the precautions. I still haven't learned how to do makeup. And I think, again, we'll just have to adapt. The best practices will have to be followed, and that's it. Yeah.
So, what to expect in Shakuntala Devi? I mean, tell us something about that character. I mean, she was so intelligent. I saw your trailer and spooked me out as to how you numbers at us. And that lady actually, knew the answer, spit pat. How did getting into that role, how did you prepare for getting into a role like that?
I was so, I was spooked is the right word. I was like, what the hell? How is that even possible? Because everyone knows Shakuntala Devi, human computer, but I actually began to think about how did she arrive at these answers? And apparently when I saw some of her interviews that were available, there wasn't much information available, but she said she actually follows steps to arrive at the answer. So to follow those steps and then to give you the answer within 28 seconds, 30 seconds, it's insane. It is. I think, it's unfathomable. And I'm not Shakuntala Devi. I'm Vidya Balan playing Shakuntala Devi. So I was given all the answers. But I enjoyed maths in school. So I could remember the numbers that I was required to remember. It actually made me realize that I love numbers. I was someone who could remember dates, phone numbers, car numbers very easily. But now we don't really depend on ourselves. We have the phone for everything, So, yeah, but this film, I think, rekindled my love for numbers. And she's probably the most complex woman I've played. She was a bag of, I don't know, when you're such a genius and you're a woman, and at a time when feminism wasn't fashionable, to have survived, made a mark in the world, led your life on your own terms, I think is incredible. I think she's the most complex woman I've played, but I've enjoyed it. And I hope you all enjoy watching that, and just to realize that, someone like her is also blood and bones.
What else new brewing in your film space for you?
So Sherni is the one that was underway. I'll hopefully resume it post the rains. Other than that, I've not said yes to anything yet. Because I just, during the lockdown, I just didn't feel like, nothing appealed to me. I think it was also probably a state of mind because there's so much uncertainty, I felt there's no problem, no point in planning way ahead, one step at a time. So let's see, now probably I will, there's something that I've liked which is in development. So hopefully that next, but too early to speak about it.
Inshallah, as they say.
Yeah.
Now, I might want to do a quick rapid fire. No hamper, no no gifts except best wishes. So,
Sure.
your favorite, character that you would like to play on screen, a real life character you would like to play on screen.
Indira Gandhi.
Oh yes, oh yes. I'm hoping you'd say a role you wish you had done yourself when you saw a film. Was there anything?
I've not felt like that about any role.
No? Okay.
No.
Or you wish you didn't do in the repertoire?
I haven't. I don't regret anything I do, so I haven't felt like that either.
That's what's your favorite film of all times? You know, like a pick-me-up film. Whenever you are down, you want to watch it.
Rishikesh Mukherjee films,
Yes.
the old Golmaal
Yes.
with Utpal Dutt and Amol Palekar and Vidya Goswami. I love that one.
It can make you laugh endlessly, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, what's your comfort food, Vidya?
My comfort food would have to be food cooked by my mother. South Indian food, avial, more kutan.
Yes.
Yeah, just simple home cooked food.
Are you fond of cooking yourself?
Not at all. But during the lockdown, for the first time in my 41 years, I actually attempted cooking.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and I made a few dishes. My poor husband had no choice because we were in a lockdown, so he had to say it was good. So I exploited that, that position, and I made him try a few things. But it was fun.
What's your comfort attire? What did you easily slip into?
Cotton salwar kameez.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's your favorite holiday destination? I mean, now we can only dream of holidays in this lockdown.
Yeah, really. I love New York.
Okay.
I love Japan and Italy.
Oh, beautiful places. How do you unwind after a stressful day?
By just, sometimes I just need to stay quiet because on set you're surrounded by so many people. So I just need that quiet time. I stay on the beach. So sometimes I just sit on the balcony and watch the waves. Talking to my niece and nephew. They're twins, my sister's kids, Ira and Ruhan. So if they're in the mood these days, because they're nearing 9, so they're leading busier lives than any of us. And I think just chatting with Siddharth. I download all that has happened onto him.
You're both from the industry. Do relationships like that, do you both bring your stresses home, or does it matter at all?
No, I think we don't work together. We've made a conscious choice not to work together. It's tough sometimes because, an exciting project that he's doing, a film that he's doing, for example, sometimes there is the opportunity for probably the director wants to work with me, but we've decided not to do something together. And then if I'm considering a film and they want to go to him to produce it, then, until I say no, they can't go to him. But I think that's how we've maintained the sanctity of our marriage so far. Because otherwise it gets very personal, because we're all ultimately, especially as an actor, I can say this, that I take things very personally. And I'm very passionate about what I'm doing. So then I begin to chew his head off. So I'm glad we don't work together. But we, of course, share our stresses. We share, talk about what happened. And I think that's very important.
Yeah.
At least for me, I talk a lot, as you've realized.
Which is a very endearing quality of yours. Please just stay this way. Stay so grounded, so accessible, so absolutely sweet. I want you to describe Vidya for me in one sentence. What would that be?
I think, authentic.
Yes.
That's my, I think I'm constantly trying to be true to myself. So I don't always manage it, but I think I'd like to believe that I'm authentic.
So when are we going to see you in Tamil and Malayalam movies? We saw a jhalak of you in that Ajit movie of, the remake of
Yeah.
and Malayalam, I know you had started and then you ran into a lot of issues there and stuff. So we'd love to see you in Tamil and Malayalam films. Please.
Actually, Malayalam, I'm not sure I'll end up doing, in all honesty, because, I've had some very not nice experiences there, which I got over. But even 2 years back, I was to do another film. And then I opted out of it for reasons that I won't go into. So I think I'm just, I don't know, maybe we don't vibe together. Sometimes it happens. Tamil I'm open to, like I did that one song in that Ajit film. If there's something substantial for me to do, for sure, I'd love to do it. Problem is, in Malayalam, I still think, I'm not very aware, I don't follow Malayalam cinema. But I really feel that it's still very male-driven. And I can't, just play someone's wife, or that doesn't interest me. So unless it's a great role in itself, look stuff. Still, Malayalam cinema produces some of the best work in the country and has some of the best actors. I think they're fantastic. I love some of Mohanlal's earlier work. I'm saying earlier work because I haven't kept in touch post joining films myself. Yeah.
What do you miss, being a celebrity, what are the things you miss doing? Like, if you're a normal person, you could do, but as a celebrity, you can't in Mumbai. What would that be?
I don't miss anything, honestly. And I go to the theater and watch films. When I need to go shopping, I go shopping. I'll probably choose a time that's less busy.
Yeah.
But, I do things there are some really crowded public places where, it becomes a bit cumbersome. Like there's this lovely Kala Ghoda festival that happens in Mumbai every February. And I tried going 2 years back and I just couldn't stand and watch anything, because people were constantly coming up to me for pictures. So those little things, but that's okay.
Vidya, I'm really so happy that I could do this interview with you. Thank you so much for the time you gave me and for being so open, so accessible and so sweet. I wish you all the success for Shakuntala Devi, for Sherni, for all your future ventures. May more awards, accolades, praise, recognition all come your way because you truly deserve all that and much, much more. Best wishes for a rocking. Do continue to inspire women. Yeah, that's the best.
How sweet.
Just carry on that. You really.
Thank you. Thank you. I've enjoyed this conversation. It felt like I was chatting with someone I know, despite the fact that this is the first time we've ever interacted. But thank you, and thank you for all your wishes. And God bless you too, and all your loved ones. Stay safe.
Thank you.
And continue to wear the gorgeous saris.
Absolutely, yes, I will. All the best to you, Vidya. Love
Thanks.
you.
Thank you. You too. God bless.
Hope you enjoyed this episode with Vidya Balan. Do leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback on the video right below the video. Do stay tuned on our Facebook and Insta page for updates on our future episodes. Thank you very much.